It is a little bit of an unsettling idea that potentially we could kind of leave the United States dollar and utilize something as Bitcoin or another cryptocurrency.
Cryptocurrency is all the rage on dark corners of the web like Twitter. In fact, 16% of Americans say they have invested in, traded, or used cryptocurrency. Many professional athletes have opted to get paid in some type of crypto. Every Super Bowl commercial was crypto-related. New York City Mayor Eric Adams took his first paycheck in crypto, and it's now considered legal tender in El Salvador. So will cryptocurrency soon become the preferred method of payment in the US? And would that be good or bad? This is Common Sense, a finance show that answers everything school didn't. To find out whether or not crypto has a shot at replacing the US dollar, we spoke to someone with a lot of faith in the digital currency. Bitcoin investor, host of the YouTube series The O Show, and avid crypto TikToker, Wendy O.
So in 2022, there's a lot of different cryptocurrencies, but primarily Bitcoin stands out to me the most.
Bitcoin is one of the oldest digital currencies. It's almost become synonymous with the word crypto because it's the most popular form of it. Bitcoin cropped up on the heels of the 2008 housing crisis, and its price has fluctuated wildly since, hitting its peak in November of 2021 at $69,000 a coin. Nice. But by late January of 2022, it plummeted to $33,000, which is still a lot considering you could have bought one unit in 2010 for just 9 cents. But if the US dollar lost over 50% of its value over the course of a couple months, I would be frightened. So why is crypto, and more specifically Bitcoin, so volatile? It might have something to do with its limited supply and lack of a central bank to regulate that supply. However, crypto proponents, like Wendy, look at the leading factors contributing to its volatility as a good thing.
So one of the aspects I like about Bitcoin is there will only ever be 21 million. And with human error, unfortunately, we start to see a decline in the total supply of Bitcoin. And generally, when you have something that is very, very scarce, the value does tend to go up in most scenarios. So I do feel that Bitcoin is a good store of value. It's also a good hedge against the US dollar.
As of January 2022, 18.9 million Bitcoin have been issued, with about 2.1 million left to be released. The final Bitcoin is not expected to be generated until the year 2140, which is a very optimistic timeline for the Earth. In addition to the currency's hard cap at 21 million, its decentralized nature appeals to users. Financial transactions are still pretty hard to trace and peer-to-peer, rather than through a bank or processor like PayPal, making fraud and theft ripe in the crypto world. However, many proponents of crypto love the freedom it offers. While it is largely unregulated, users don't have to deal with pesky bank fees, there is no currency exchange process because it's global, there's seemingly little concern with inflation, and it's very secure in the sense that if you lose your PIN number, you're out of luck. It's estimated that more than 20%, or around $140 billion worth of Bitcoin, has been lost. Unlike a bank, if you lose your PIN number for your Bitcoin, there is no easy way to recover it. One guy who had $220 million in Bitcoin has no way to access his fortune because he lost his PIN. But folks who lose out on vast sums of money aren't the only losers. The environment feels the brunt of it. New units of crypto are found through a process called mining, or having computers solve complicated mathematical problems. Whoever solves it first gets 6.25 Bitcoin, which, depending on the time you're watching this, could be hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of Bitcoin, or just enough to buy some limited edition sugar cookie chapstick. The problem is, this uses a whole lot of computing power, because the more computer you have, the more guesses you can make quickly. This isn't just your home computer, as I'm sure that's cool. These are warehouses filled to the brim with hot and sweaty state-of-the-art machines. The New York Times notes, quote, "The process of creating Bitcoin to spend or trade consumes around 91 terawatt hours of electricity annually, more than is used by Finland, a nation of about 5.5 million, unquote. It's estimated that in 30 years, Bitcoin could alone increase global temperatures by 2 degrees Celsius.
I think it is important to know because it is leaving a bit of a carbon footprint. But one thing that I do want to mention is we saw this criticism take place, but then we also saw the president of El Salvador say, okay, if Bitcoin is bad for the environment, we're going to go ahead and create a system to power miners, and it's going to be done safely from volcanoes. Volcanoes are there. Volcanoes are not going anywhere. When what they're doing is they went ahead and they took this energy, this geothermal energy that is 100% part of the environment, it's natural. They took it and they're reharnessing that energy to provide clean mining.
Because America is famously concerned with the environment, measures like the one taken by El Salvador could boost crypto's chances of becoming legal tender elsewhere. So, will it?
So the option of actually utilizing Bitcoin as legal tender in the United States and also kind of coexisting with a fiat currency, maybe it's a CBDC, maybe it's a stablecoin. I think that that's a real possibility. And I don't think the United States is in any position to tell people what they can and can't do with their money. Because we've seen the SEC, we've seen the IRS, we've seen all these government bodies say, you have to do this, you have to do that. But they generally don't give a reason on how this is beneficial for us. Who's to say that the United States dollar is good for me? It might be good for me, but it might not be good for you. And if there's businesses that are able to accept Bitcoin or another cryptocurrency, I don't think that we should halt them in that, especially with all the things that are happening economically across the United States.
Whether or not the U.S. will adopt some sort of crypto as legal tender remains to be seen. The Federal Reserve has recently been considering a digital version of the dollar that would be controlled by the U.S. central bank, effectively appropriating existing crypto technology but maintaining control. Whether you're for or against this, at least we'd seemingly be able to recover our pins. That's all for this episode of Common Sense. Thanks so much for watching.